Good morning. Welcome to the live in-person and live Zoom worship service of the Unitarian Universal Church of Riverside. Thank you for joining us here in person, and thank you for joining us remotely on Zoom, where we will continue to live stream and post these services on our YouTube channel for our virtual attendees. I'm Linda Van Forest, and I will be one of your worship associates today. Other members of the worship committee you will hear from is not Dinah Rowe, is that correct? It will be actually myself being Dinah Rowe, our church treasurer. We welcome you to join us this morning with an open mind and an open heart, and with muted electronic devices, please. Welcome this morning, and I'm going to take a break and turn my phone off too. Welcome to this morning, this day, and this opportunity to be together in community, which is a time of joy, comfort, and sometimes challenges. This Unitarian Universalist congregation is a place where we can come to learn more about being human. We're not here because we figured out life's questions or because we think we got it right. We come here to learn more about being in relationship together and being in relationship with whatever spiritual perspective that you have, and we are glad that you came to join us. Although our doors are open, the pandemic is not over. So while we are here, please keep your masks on and socially distance. We can speak in normal tones, but singing or chanting creates an increased risk of airborne exposure. So we ask you to refrain for the time being from singing. We invite those of you in the sanctuary to sit back and enjoy listening. For those of you at home, sing your hearts out. And now I invite you to sit back and take a slow, deep breath as we move into the worship hour. Our call to worship this morning is our mission statement. You are welcome to read with me the mission statement of our church. Our mission is to foster a diverse religious community that celebrates life, affirms the individual, encourages spiritual growth and open thought, and works to advance social justice and environmental sustainability. This morning we have Bobbie Ebony Butts for our speaker. Bobbie is a mother of 4 children who works diligently and daily to rise above her past and create a path for a successful future for herself and her children. She has received a general equivalent diploma in Chattanooga Community College in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and earned a diploma in Business Office Administration from UEI. She is a criminal and social justice policy advocate in Riverside County and is a part of some key organizations that are bringing change to the Inland Empire communities by zealously advocating for change in policies that systematically systematically oppress, convict people. Today is also a 50-50 Sunday, which is held on the 4th Sunday of the month. Today, we welcome the Family Reunion Equity and Empowerment Program, AKA FREE, or FREE. Our speaker today, Bobbie Butts, is an Assistant Director of FREE. The family unit is a building block of society. We will examine what we can do to strengthen our family bonds and relationships in order to create a stable foundation for the next generation. I will explain later what 50-50 donation, how the 50-50 donation actually works when we come to the collection part of our service. At this time, we have some candles that we light, and our first candle is the Occupied Indigenous Peoples Remembrance Candle. We have two lightings of the sacred flames. The first is the Occupied Indigenous People Remembrance Candle. The second is the lighting of our own chalice, the symbol of our faith. We walk upon the traditional territories of diverse and sovereign peoples. The original peoples of this land, who continue to cry out for justice and self-determination. This spot we occupy was first the sacred space of several groups of indigenous peoples, including the Kihia, the Kapanya, and the Sarana. We, the Universalist Unitarian Church of Riverside, light this sacred flame as stewards of this sacred and holy place. Lighting the flames. We are blessed with a space, an opportunity to strive to live out our common principles, to bring justice, equity, and compassion into our daily lives, to resist all that threatens the earth and her people, and to be a part of a world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. Let these thoughts carry us forth as we journey and worship together. Today's chalice lighting, the reading of the chalice lighting, is by Betsy Dar. May the light of this chalice give light and warmth to our family on good days and bad, happy and sad. And may we feel the warmth spread from our family circle to wider and wider circles until we feel our family part of the one circle of life. Our opening hymn this morning is Find a Stillness. For those in the sanctuary, please sit back and enjoy the hymn, but please do not sing along.
Find a stillness, hold a stillness, let the stillness carry me.
Welcome visitors. We have a tradition at UUCR to welcome those visitors who are perhaps returning after some time away or are new. We know it can be uncomfortable to stand up and speak in front of others, and so I will now ask for a volunteer from someone who has been here for a while to tell us your name and how you found out about our church. We ask you to hold the mic close to your face and speak into it directly and clearly so everyone can hear. And this morning, I'm going to ask you to step up to this mic because we've been having trouble with the handheld mic. So who would like to volunteer to be our example? Otherwise, I'm going to have to pick somebody. We have Alec. Thank you, Alec.
Hi, let's also see how the mic works. Hi, my name is Alec. I've been coming over here just over a year. I was raised UU, but this is one of the smaller churches that I've been a part in, and so it's been really fun to be able to get to be really intimate with the rest of the people in the church. And so I've been really enjoying that I get to talk with everyone after the service and things like that.
Thank you, Alec. Please stand if you're willing and able and come up to the mic and tell us your name, how long you've been here, and how about our church. Okay, we're going to move on then. If you change your mind at some point in the service, let me know and we'll be glad to have you introduce yourself. For new guests, our visitor's book is in the parish hall on the desk. Please leave your name before you leave so that we know who you were. We know you were here and your contact information. So if you want to know about upcoming events, for those online, the best way to get added to the mailing list is to mail the church office at admin@uucrchurchofriverside.org. Several website addresses and phone numbers will be mentioned during the service. All contact information will be shown again at the end of the service. Now is the time in our service for our announcements. COVID-19. In order to safely go about our daily lives, we need to keep taking steps to prevent the spread of COVID. Vaccination is proving to be safe, effective, and free. As more and more people are vaccinated, the virus is less likely to spread and mutate. Wear a mask to keep from spreading the virus to those with no defense, like the immune compromised and children under 12. Get tested for COVID-19 if you may have been exposed. It's free and confidential for everyone in California. You can make an appointment at vaccine.gov, or for more information and more options of vaccine locations, go to covid19.ca.gov. Let's all take personal responsibility to protect ourselves and others. We are all in this together. Vax it and mask it. Don't forget to join us next week after the services for First Sunday lunch. Next week, we will be having the chili and cornbread lunch. Sharing our UU spirits. A special collection will be taken on the second and fourth Sundays in October and November to help provide Thanksgiving and Christmas meals, as well as holiday gifts to our local community. Please see our church administrator, Robert Braun, for details. We appreciate your generosity. 10,000 Women's March Inland Empire will host a march to protest abortion rights in all communities. They will meet at Riverside City Hall on October 2nd at 12 p.m. and please join them. Join us on Saturday, October 16th at 5 p.m. for our annual Oktoberfest dinner and silent auction. Tickets are available on the website or through Robert in the office. Advanced ticket sales only. No tickets will be sold at the door. $20 per adult, $12. Yeah, we'll forget that. $12 for ages 6 to 12 and free for those 5 and under. Please see our church administrator, Robert Braun, or Kate Lewicki, who's back by the soundboard, for details. Along with the Oktoberfest, we will have a silent auction. A silent auction of new and gently used items or craft items donated by our neighbors and friends will be held. The auction will be concluded on November 7th at the congregational meeting. See Dinah Rowe for details. Dinah's here in the raising her hand. Thank you, Dinah. Our next hymn is Spirit of Life. If you are in the sanctuary, I invite you to sit back, close your eyes, and listen. Now is the time in the service where we share our treasure. This portion of our service is to support our beloved historical church. Today is also our 50/50 collection. If you wish to donate to the 50/50, half of the designated donation goes to free, and the other half goes to our church's general fund as a donation. This is not recorded for those of you who are church members as part of your pledge. It is an additional donation to the church. Please write 50/50 on the memo line of your check or envelope that you find in the pews. In addition to the weekly collection, you may send your checks to the church address, which is shown here. You may contribute by PayPal using the QR code, which is on the church website and also on the newsletter. Please indicate if your donation is for the 50/50 or a pledge donation to the church. Also, Stater Brothers Market gives our church a rebate on Stater Brother gift cards, which we have in the church each Sunday. I believe, Dinah, you have those as well. You will get the full value of the gift card, and the church also receives a percentage. Amazon cards are also available under the similar program. Please donate as the Spirit moves you by whatever method works best for you. Thank you for your generosity, and to those who give of their time and talent, thank you for your generous care and attention. Will our ushers now please come up to receive the collection? I'm going to add a footnote in here. I probably should have done this earlier. If any of you would like to give additional money or a full donation to Bobbie, if you hand it to her after church, then she can take the full amount. And thank you for your offer this morning, and thank you for all the service that you do for the church. Our next hymn is From You I Receive.
From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, from this we live.
From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live.
Now is the time in our service for our meditation. If you sit back, get comfortable, and relax. Our meditation today is Success by Ralph Waldo Emerson. To laugh often and much. To win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children. To earn the appreciation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends. To appreciate beauty, to find beauty in others. To live the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or redeemed social condition. To know that one life has breathed easier because you lived here. This is to have succeeded. Now I would like to introduce Bobbie Ebony Butts speaking to us on the foundation of the family.
Hello, everybody. Thank you again. Everything counts. And it'd be so appreciated by the parents that we help. So, reflections of a family. It all begins with family. The family is culturally universal building block in all societies. One of the crucial roles of a family is to nurture, preserve, and to pass on the values we share to the next generation, including fundamental needs and emotional closeness and support. Um, what are some of your family? What are some of your important values that you have learned from your own families? I just want, if you guys want to shout out, some values. Patience, wonderful, wonderful. Anybody else? Truth, awesome. Gratitude, yes, yes, yes. Family serves as a cornerstone of the individual. One origin, history, values, and primary relationships rest on it. The individual is a continuing work in progress, a work that continues from the womb to the tomb. Here's a quote from medical doctor Sal Levine. They say, "We humans are social species, tribal by nature. We are given to gather a community in familiar groups. Belonging, our capacity and need for empathy, compassion, and communication is in our DNA." Being a part of the family is deeply ingrained into the human experience and can be expressed in the four B's, which it relates to how we establish our self-worth. Being, social acceptance, which is a personal thing. Belonging, being a part of one or more groups is a social thing. Believing, guiding values and ethics is an ethical and spiritual thing. Benevolence, kindness, and generosity is altruistic thing. Belonging is the extent of which we feel appreciated, respected, and cared for as members of a group of people. Family is the source of our first social connection in life. A child comes into the world, a parent holds and smiles at a child, and socialization begins. In time, the child will grow into an adult and become more independent member of society. But first, they need to be welcomed by the people around them, experiencing love, forming trusting bonds, interacting with others, trained by discipline, taught lessons and values. The milestones laid in the childhood and youth lay the foundation for the future adult. Our UU's resident psychologist Pat Crowder states that the presence of at least one parent who provides unconditional positive regard can make all the difference in how let me make sure I say it right. I love Miss Pat. And how a child is perceived himself. A child also requires moral training to learn the difference between right and wrong by being taught that actions have consequences. When children feel loved and secure, it gives them the confidence to explore the world, to try new things, to learn how to solve problems, and respect difference of opinions. These are essential skills that are required into adulthood. We can see how important it is for a child to have a firm family foundation to support growth, development, and the well-being throughout their lifespan. A healthy family provides love and support, social connection, promotes adaptability and resilience. It improves motivation and performance, communication skills as well. Some important benefits of a healthy family environment are mental and emotional health, It will improve, lower risk of behavior problems, boost self-confidence, lengthens the life expectancy, and provides a continuously and expands the thinking. No, provides continuity, I'm sorry, and expands the thinking. So, family, community, and society. Families represent more than individual members, yet they serve the needs of individuals in it. Families perform vital roles for both the individual member of society as a whole. They provide for one another physical, emotional, social, and economic well-being. Parents care for and socialize children. Later in life, adult children often care for their elderly parents. Families perform vital roles for both individual members and society as a whole. They provide, There are many purposes of families and their roles in the maintenance of a balanced society. These values instilled by healthy families include trust, you said it, respect, vulnerability, no judgment, loyalty, and authenticity. We take these important values with us as we leave our homes and go out into society. As mentioned, it all begins with family. Now let's talk about how these principles play out into our local communities. Family reunification, equity, and empowerment, acronyms FREE, also known as FREE, is a project that is a part of a nonprofit organization called Starting Over Inc., based in the city of Corona. As I spoke to you recently in August, FREE is working to ensure that children are placed with loving family members whenever possible to maintain relationships, resources, and the love they need for well-being and success. Excuse me if I keep looking down because I don't want to leave anything out. It's very important. Far too many of our children want to return home and have family members that want to bring them home and care for them. Many family members find themselves facing barriers caused by non-related criminal convictions and are unable to successfully navigate through the process. FREE is based upon a justice-centered narrative that places children first. Children and their families are a part of our support in challenging the dominant narrative that serves to justify keeping children away from family members and loved ones. FREE Project strives to reconnect the children with their parents and family members by treating each client as a person instead of a case number. Before they made negative choices, they were functioning parents, grandparents, aunts, and uncles. Due to the absence and hardships caused by incarceration, connections and relationships need to be rebuilt. This can be a challenging process to do alone. However, it can be accomplished through respect, communication, and unconditional love, and with great intention. FREE supports individualized decision-making. Families and communities are often unsure of how or if they can engage in the court system, causing them to be passive to the process that may separate them from their loved ones permanently. If they wish to present the court with mitigating or humanizing information, they have very few mechanisms for achieving that goal. In particular, foster youth have their own voices minimized due to their age. FREE has bi-weekly hub meetings on Wednesdays and Fridays. These sessions are modeled after the participatory defense model created by Raj, Jadev, and Debug. The model has been used successfully in the criminal justice process to improve court outcomes. We apply participatory defense practices and principles in the dependency court to improve family reunification outcomes. Justice organizations across the nations are using in criminal courtrooms. Currently, Free Core legislative team has been diligent in creating a pathway to family restoration. So currently, Senate Bill 354 has been introduced by California State Senator Nancy Skinner. So existing law authorized in certain circumstances, a child who has been removed from their parent or guardian to be placed with a relative or non-relative extended family member if a relative or a non-relative extended family member is either an approved resource family or has been assessed by the county social worker or a county probation agency. Among these things, the relatives or non-relative extended family members has not been convicted of a crime for which a criminal record exemption cannot be granted, has been awarded with a criminal record exemption, or in a certain circumstances, a legal record exemption is pending. So that's current law. So with SB 354, this bill will, notwithstanding those provisions, authorize the courts to order placement with relative regardless of the status of any criminal conviction or resource family approval. If the court finds that the placement does not pose a risk to the health and safety of the child, in addition, the bill will require the county welfare department, if the sole issue is preventing the emergency placement of a child with a relative or non-relative extended family member, is the lack of resource, to use reasonable efforts to assist the relative or non-relative extended family member in obtaining the necessary items by imposing new duties on county welfare departments that would impose statewide mandated local programs. This bill was enrolled on September 14th and is currently pending Gavin Newsom's signature. I want to thank the Social Justice Committee at the UU for sending in support as we've been going through all of the different hearings. I just want to thank you tremendously for the support, as well as thank you for the letter to Gavin Newsom. I believe I've seen your name on the list, so thank you. And then, so here are some upcoming events on our calendar. So we'll be having our third annual fundraiser luncheon on December 9th from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. The information is on the flyer. I can give you more information if you would like to see Starting Over's work as a whole. This is just one project. There are a transitional housing nonprofit that helps formerly incarcerated people or people that are, I guess, trying to get over hardships, getting back into society. I like to say people who they try to throw by the wayside or the hard to reach population. Starting Over does a tremendous job of getting them, loving them up, and making sure they have the tools they need to be a productive member of the society. And then, so we also do the Food for Life drive on the second and fourth Fridays of each month at 2 p.m. So if you know anybody who needs extra food, because we are still in pandemic mode, and I guess it's the time those stimulus were to stimulate us, those stimulus checks should have stimulated us to go ahead and make provisions and stock for our house so we don't have to go without for too long. So if you guys need food or any assistance like that, please come out to the food drive and get some food for your neighbor who can't get it. And then, so last but not least, I just want to say thank you for your donations to the Free Project. And we appreciate you and you to help us make the difference within the family regulation system. We have had a long association, And I love my UUs. I love y'all so much. Every time I see y'all, John, I'm so happy to see you. And I'm just happy to be here. And thank you guys again for thinking about, our project, having some extra assistance and just wanting us to be a part. And I love speaking, and you guys call me, I'll come back.
Thank you, Bobbie. Our closing hymn is Go Now in Peace.
Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere.
Our benediction this morning is Be True, Be Well, Be Loving by Cynthia Landrum. We leave this gathered community, but we don't leave our connection, our concerns, our care for each other, our service to each other, to the world, and to our faith continues. Until we are together again, friends, be well, be strong, be true, be loving. Namaste, amen, and blessed be. Thank you, Bobbie, for sharing your valuable time and insights with us this morning. It is sincerely appreciated, and we look forward to seeing you again. We are going to have about a 10-15 minutes Q&A with Bobbie following the service. Be aware this will be included in the video that is posted. After that, if you'll come out to the parish hall, we have a coffee hour for conversation. Please keep in mind the COVID-19 restrictions. Bobbie? And don't forget your mask. I'll put that back up. Anybody have questions?
So FREE stands for Family Reunification, Equity, and Empowerment. So when I talked about the FREE hubs, it is a community of people who have been affected or going through or trying to get through or trying to get their kids or trying, just really been trying. And so I help them navigate the process of the Child Dependency Court where they can understand and be up to par to try to avoid some of the pitfalls that they might not be aware of. And in this community, I'm gonna say at least like 42 parents. And so at least like maybe 3 to 7 might get on the calls Wednesdays and Thursdays. Sometimes I have about 10 people, right? And so I just usually, ask them what their next court date is and what is their desired outcome, right? And then from there, I'll do a one-on-one with them. And then they'll give a chance to disclose more to me that they might not want to disclose to the community just yet. And then we'll just come up with some plans and try to, give them some referrals to different places. So, so one parent, it was like, she didn't know how to budget her money, right? So I found her an online budgeting class, right? So she can't pay her bills because the reason she wasn't paying her bills, right? That was the reason why the CPS stepped in, because lights, water, stuff was off, right? So it's like she had money, but she didn't know how to budget the money. She didn't know how to really pay bills. She just knew how to live. And so just getting her, things like that. And it's just really explaining like what step of the process is like a 3.26 hearing, has a JV 180 been filed because of change of circumstances, has housing been secured, do they need housing? We have, the money that you guys do give out today would go to the pot where we help them get clothes if they get a job and need non-slip shoes, or if they need clothes to wear to court, because sometimes a lot of the judges and the people in the court buildings are very biased. And so we just want them to look their best so they know that this is the best person coming for their kid. So it just depends. It's on an individual thing, and then so I allow, but in the free hubs, I allow them to other people to, say things or suggest best practice solutions to the parents who have the issue, because sometimes somebody's already went through this. And what helped them get through might can help them get through. I'm not a lawyer, and they don't never have to do anything I suggest, but I have been successful in getting visitations reunited. I've been able to reunite a few families and get some overnights in, so they're on their way to getting their children back. So they like their process, and some of them, I just know we have a lot of issue with mental health because we love our kid, it's constant, but our mental health shows up. So I'm just doing a lot of helping them simmer down, take a step, breathe, maybe get their medication regulated, maybe get them, get them on going to some good affirmations, just try to reset that mindset so they know that, the kids are first, because I tell them constantly, we are about the children's health and safety first, then you, right? And so, but if they want their kids, it's about all of the whole family, and I encourage anybody that has kids in the CPS to encourage their whole family to step up to see about getting the kids out, because the more eyes are on the children, on the child that is in the care of the state, then the state knows that they have a lot of eyes worried about this one child. And I think the kids become just a little bit more safer as they try to transition back to their families or their parents. Any more questions? Yes, Grace? So you know what? I've been getting referrals from the NAACP. I've been getting referrals from other agencies that maybe do transitional housing, but don't have, any answers to give to their clients who, are homeless and are fighting the CPS at the same time. Sometimes I do a train the trainer. I haven't, well, since we opened up, I'll probably try to get one in before the year's over with. But I invite agencies who help the population who might have a CPS case, because it's hard to say, we're going to help give you a place to stay. And then they're like, well, that's not my only problem, and then, so just to give them a little bit more to say and to refer them back. So the trainer event, it just walks the process of navigating the child welfare system to the community, to the free community parents, as well as the community-based organizations, so they can give more to say than just be like, I don't know, so they can have just a little bit more dialogue, so they can get their trust a little bit more to know that they're really there to help them. And so just referrals, I do a lot of before coronavirus, I did a lot of CPS rallies. Oops, excuse me. I did a lot of CPS rallies. And so I would, either recruit there, because they're at the court buildings, going in, and like 9 times out of 10, what's really going on is that the social worker is not hearing them, the lawyer is not hearing them, the judges are not hearing them. And so I'm here to hear, to listen, to allow them to say whatever they need to say. And then I'll come back and suggest. And 9 times out of 10, we're usually in the community spaces. So there's other parents that have been through a little further along, and plus I really would like my parents and family members who are stepping up to be a part of Free to be leaders in this work, because there's just not a lot of representation when it comes to changing the narrative that we can love and care for our children, and our criminal convictions should never permanently separate us. Or the barriers should, we should at least be able to pay for a monitor to supervise our visits with our kids if we can never get them back. But to have a permanent separation is heartbreaking, and that leaves parents mourning children that are not dead, and that leaves children aging out of foster care feeling they have no value.
Thank you.
Thank you. I didn't have to read from a paper. No.
Thank you all for coming. Have a good day.